Welcome to the Your Little Castle Show, where we highlight the best experts that make your home into your little castle. Let's go! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, another exciting episode of Your Little Castle, our community show. We like to highlight the leaders in our community. They're helping everybody to enjoy their own little castle, right? You can't have a castle unless you got a great place for the kids to develop and learn, and sports is huge for that. Everybody knows I'm a huge advocate of sports. So today, ladies and gentlemen, we have in studio from the Wentzville Wildcats, Chris Brown, and he's the field director and head coach, Kyle Nunn. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Really excited you guys are here. Chris had reached out to me. Chris, let me ask you, what is it like? Tell me what you like most about being the field director for the Wildcats.
Well, being able to give the kids opportunity for a field to play on, and so.
Well, that's a key thing for if you're the field director, right? Mm-hmm. You're somebody that has to make sure that the field is operational. It's hard to play coach. Is it hard to play football?
Oh,
if you don't have a field?
It's definitely impossible. Chris does a lot of awesome things for us too. Like it's not just the field; he helps maintain the equipment and that. We had a project going on today with cones. And Chris come up with a solution to fix our windy cone situation, and he showed me a demo by putting a blower on the cone there to make sure that the wind couldn't blow it down. So Chris is just so awesome to the organization. He brings a lot more than just painting the field.
Well, I mean, yeah, and he's become a bit of a PR director, if you will. Yeah. Because Chris and I have known each other for a long time. Where did we meet originally, Chris? Would it be down at a Cardinal game?
At World Series.
At the World Series? Okay.
Mm-hmm. 06.
06. Holy cow, we're getting old fast. Yeah. Today's 2022. Yeah. So I didn't realize we were friends for that long. But you and I chatted a number of times, I know.
Of course.
On this little thing called Facebook. And what's going on? How you been? And sports and chatting back and forth. And I didn't realize, and you reached out to me. I said, absolutely, let's get the Wentzville Wildcats on the show here.
Big season this year.
Now why do you say that?
Well, 35 seasons in the city of Wentzville.
35 seasons. Let's put that graphic up in there. I got producer Joe in the building here, and we set up all kinds of our presets. Mm-hmm. So let's do a wide shot, and then there you go. Look at that. There's that new 35-year graphic. Wentzville has been around for a long time. That looks pretty cool. Sorry, Coach, we covered you up there.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
Team first, then the coach. And this is the team graphic. 35 seasons for Wildcats youth football.
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So let's take the graphic off there, and then there it is. And let's talk to the coach a little bit about that. And tell me, why is sports so important, do you think, for the kids? Your family has been involved with this organization forever.
You know what? It's really been awesome for the community through football. I mean, we have churned out some great individuals in the community and some awesome football players also. We are coming off of an amazing year for Wentzville football, period. All of our teams are doing well in high school. I know, as you know, Holt went to the state championship.
We saw that, yeah.
We had 32 former Wentzville Wildcats on that roster. And then Ethan Place, the head coach, who just won Coach of the Year, he was a former Wildcat as well. So, I mean, we are just excited. Football is just awesome and flourishing in Wentzville. And like I said, community support for 35 years, we must be doing something right.
Well, yeah, so you talked about it. Your brother was originally, say that again. What?
So my brother was a Wentzville Wildcat in '87. My mom was our first treasurer. All of my kids have played for the Wentzville Wildcats. I have played for the Wentzville Wildcats. I'm going on my 13th season as a coach.
Started when you were 14 years old, I guess?
No, I started
maybe as a player.
Right? That's right. Yeah, okay. I actually was younger than that as a player. And now I got a group of feisty little second graders that I'm coaching. I don't have a kid in the organization anymore. All of my kids have phased out, but
they've grown up and
yes.
become successful American citizens now.
Well, yeah, I got a high school running back that's at Fort Zumwalt West. He's pretty fun to watch too.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So the family has been like part of this. This is a Wentzville thing. This is a Nunn family thing a little bit.
Yes.
The family's been involved from all sides.
Yes.
Mom.
Yes.
Brother, yourself.
Yes.
And just, wow. Chris, man, how long ago did you get involved with all this?
About a year ago.
What compelled you to do it?
Well, since I don't have any kids of my own, and I love the sport. It give me an extra boost to get out there and provide for some kids that can make benefit out of it.
That's important because I'm with you. I don't have any kids, but I love sports, and I want all the kids to be proper grown adult citizens too, right? And I think they learn some of the most valuable lessons.
Yes.
From this little thing we call sports. Would you agree with that, Coach?
Yes, sir. Sports gives more than it's more than football. It's more than catching and throwing a ball. Accountability, sportsmanship, courage, fighting your fears, just, being loyal to the team, being a good teammate. It helps with a lot. Confidence, it helps. We are living in an age where it seems like the kids are getting a little softer, in my opinion. And I think football is a good place to get them.
Yeah, well, I tell you, if you got sports as a background, I don't want to bore everybody. If everybody watches every single one of our shows, then you might hear me say this more than once. But it's like sports gave me the tools to pull a ventilator out of my own throat, I believe. So I came out of a coma when they didn't expect me to. And that's why I'm such a strong advocate, because I believe sports gives those intangible, is that the word? Intangible skills that, I love my mom. She's a drama teacher. She taught John Goodman. She's an English teacher. But I didn't learn how to tackle life, as you say, from English class. I learned how to speak fairly well. Some people think, maybe not, I need some help still. But man, you really learn about how to be part of a team, how to win, how to lose. Talk about that, if you would, a little bit, Chris. I mean, you're involved with this program. Do you think there's some value there? That's what you said you really appreciate. What are some of the lessons kids learn from sports?
Just being held accountable. So
that's a big one, man.
Yeah.
When you say accountable, what do you mean? Because what do you mean accountable? I'm playing sports. What do I got to be accountable for?
Being on time, being there for your team.
Being somebody that says, you better make this play, right?
Exactly, yeah.
If you don't know the plays, if you're not sitting there studying this outside of practice sometimes, especially for the quarterback and the receivers, I was the kicker, right? So everybody knows I did play a little pro football. I was a minor league kicker. I kicked pro indoor. But my job was make sure that snapper and the holder did their job, right? Mm-hmm. And I was standing on the sidelines, and the joke was does Carter have an executive job? He doesn't have to do anything very often, but then he walks on, everybody protects him, he kicks the ball through the uprights, and then he walks off the field again. All the rest of the guys, they're out there pounding, blocking, streaming. What's it like managing an entire football team, Coach? I mean, you got to put the whole thing together.
Oh, I love it.
And deal with the kicker.
Oh, I absolutely love coaching the kids. I love it from day one when they're scared of their own shadow
really?
To the day when it really clicks and you can tell that they're about to make a good football player. I love it. I love watching the kids grow through the game. It's a beautiful thing. You become more than a football team in football. You sooner or later become a family. And I truly believe that. And through the years, I have a lot of little Wildcats out there that I call family now. So.
Well, okay. So talk about how many years have you been the head coach?
So I've been head coaching for, like I said, this will be my, I believe, 12th or 13th season I've been a head coach. I've been through 3 different grade levels.
That's what I'm saying. So it's kind of you can move up by grade level.
So what I did the first time is I ran a group of 4th graders through 8th grade. Okay.
And you went up with them.
I went up with them, and then I dropped all the way back down. Meanwhile, while they were growing older, I started teaching kindergartners kindergarten flag. So I kind of were grooming them for tackle while these guys were getting older. That way, as soon as they left, my 2nd graders would be ready. So then I'll take on a second grade team and teach the dads how to coach the team for 2 years. And then I'll send them off, and then I'll drop back, and I'm doing it again with a group of second graders and their dads.
You see the level of sophistication we have here, ladies and gentlemen, with this training program. This is a well-oiled machine to help these kids develop. What perspective? I know there's a lot of people say, well, what are the chances? And you get a lot of grief from the parents, like, my kid's going to make it to the NFL. Or do they? Most of them get it, and they're like, hey, man, maybe he's good enough, maybe not. I want what they're going to gain.
That's right.
For life skills.
That's right.
More than anything.
Is it great when a Monty Ball slips through the Wentzville Wildcats and makes it to the NFL? Yes, it's great when that happens.
Yeah, I was familiar. They have a couple NFLers out there.
That's right, we do. So is that great? Yeah, but the ultimate goal is let's teach these kids how to be productive citizens through the game of football. I haven't seen Bill Belichick at any of my practices or anything like that yet. So, let's take it one step at a time, and let's teach them the game, and let's teach them how to be good people. And if they work hard and it's in their forecast, then maybe that happens for them.
Bill Belichick may not be as welcomed here in St. Louis.
You're right. I definitely don't want him at my practice, by the way. So.
But he is a guru from the perspective of being a coach that had some success, obviously.
Oh, definitely.
And how important is it, do you feel, for these kids to win? Is that the most important thing? I think that's something that is definitely – that's why I think I've done so well competitively, but that's not necessarily for everybody. And I guess you get all kinds of kids. Well, you got to deal with that.
I'll be honest, we always want to win, right? And You play the game to win. You want to win. We want to compete. We want to be competitors. We want to teach the kids to be competitors. Nobody gives you nothing out here in this world. You got to compete for everything you got and everything you get. So therefore, when we hit that football field, we're coming to play. Do you win every game? No, you're not going to win every game. And to be honest, losses, a lot can be learned from a loss, and losses are not always bad, because sometimes that loss is what it takes to motivate you to get the win.
Yeah.
So we're not upset for 20 years over a loss, but we want to win for sure.
So, Chris, is that some of the excitement you got to recognize that this organization really does a lot to help the community? And that's when you decided, what can I do to be involved and become the field director? Talk about that, if you would.
Well, like I said, without myself having children, and it just gives me an extra boost to get out there and perform what I can do.
Have you seen some of these kids where, like, well, I saw them when they were starting off, and now they're growing up, and now they're getting bigger, and you get to enjoy that?
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Is that kind of the cool thing that's part of being somebody who doesn't have a kid in the program, but getting to watch all the kids grow?
Yes, it does.
Coach, is that kind of the motivation, too? As the coach, there's so much you've got to take in. There's so much you've got to do. What is it like running an organization? I'm just trying to wrap my head, because I was the kicker. Don't get me wrong. I was the kicker. I kicked the ball between the uprights. I kicked the ball down on the kickoff. I'm done. You got 45 kids running around. You got to organize.
Well, I tell you what. So being the president, there's a lot on my plate. We had 220 something tackle players, and I think about 100 and something cheerleaders last fall. I could never begin to tackle all of this by myself. I have an amazing board that works really hard all year long, not when it's just football season, all year long, to make sure that everything goes off I say perfectly, but as close to perfectly as possible. And like I said, they work their butts off, and together we pull it off really well. We have a very experienced board. From, like I said, we got a webmaster, we have coaching directors, we have field directors, we have cheer directors. We have a lot of different people doing a lot of really awesome things every day. So,
well, I tell you, it is a monumental task. I played a lot of baseball, a bunch of soccer, and just the organization that went along with it. I didn't play football until after college. Mm-hmm. But I played soccer, so my objective. How important is a sidebar? How important is the kicking game? Is that still part of it? A lot of teams that I played, even as men's grown-up ball, they're like, you guys have a kicker? That's not a priority, or is that something you put part of the game too?
Well, I'm going to tell you what. in the Super Bowl with my second grade team, our 7-year-old quarterback lined up to kick the ball. So that tells you, yes, kicking is a very important part of the game still, and I believe in teaching it early. And in the younger grade levels, when you score a touchdown and get a conversion, you get 1 point. Well, if you kick a field goal, you get 2. So anytime we have a chance to get 2 points over 1, we're going to try to get the 2 points.
So, ladies and gentlemen, there might be some need for the Cardinal Cowboys expert training to come out to the facility there. I'll come out there sometime and
please do
put on a little show sometime. I worked with Roland Williams, former NFL Super Bowl champ, and there's that ring right there. But yeah, I mean, he said I was doing one of these things, but I've been doing live streaming since about 2011. We taught Facebook how important live streaming was, if you will. But we were live. You streamed back in the day, and I was volunteering and learning. So here we are. This is my show now. This is the third show we've had on ABC, but it took a long while. Anyway, Roland Williams shows up, and he's the guest on the show with these guys, and I'm the guy operating the camera. But I took the opportunity. Hey, man, I played a little football. That's kind of where I got invited. Our Bulldogs team was invited on the show. And I told them I'll stream it while they do the radio. And then I showed them how I'd stream it live. And I said, can you do that at our shows? Did that. Roland shows up. And he goes, do you have any tape of that 50-yard, 52, 53-yard field goal? I go, absolutely. Because and so then he had me kick for the kids. So I'll come out and do that. But I think that the training that you gain, the skills that I learned from being, like people joke, everybody, like the kicker, like, you got one job. You got one job.
Yeah, no.
But the kicker is not that instrumental unless you want to win the game and there's 2 seconds left and you're down by a point, right?
Exactly.
Then it becomes real important.
We teach the kids that everybody's job on that field is important. You can't win a game with one person in football. It takes everybody doing their job every single play.
That's a great point because, like I said, there's jokes about kickers like the guy doesn't do anything, but when we need him, we better not miss. How important is it that when it comes down to it, that you do help kids understand that these kids, they all have an important role? Because I don't know how many guys were the linemen on our football team, on the team. And like, I honestly, to this day, I knew a lot of their first names. I never knew their last names. Sometimes we had them on their jerseys, sometimes we didn't. But they were the most, to me, they were the most important guys because they're like protecting me.
Oh, yeah.
Their job was more important. All I got when I was good at what I did, I was just like, my job's easy. I just got to kick that ball between the 2 goalposts. But if those guys, one of those guys doesn't do their job, there's a guy breaking through.
That's right.
And he's coming after me.
That's
and
right.
he's going to block the field goal. That didn't happen very often. That hardly ever happened because these guys are putting it out on the line, and they don't get a whole lot of fanfare. They don't get a lot of acclaim. They're just the big line guys that are like literally taking elbows to the chest and under their chin. And what's that like, having those guys?
True story about the thing about that is we as adults know some of the most important people out there are the linemen, but when you're trying to convey that to kids, it's very tough because everybody wants to be the quarterback, everybody wants to be the running back. So it takes a little bit of grooming and showing them that, hey, look, if you don't take on this big, mean, ugly kid right here in front of you and drive him back 5 yards, our little fast guy gets smoked in the backfield. So therefore, we're not going to find any success. We need you to play this role. This is why your role is important, and we need you to give it heck every chance you get.
Chris, do you enjoy watching this? Is this fun? Talk about that if you would.
It is fun.
What do you enjoy most about it when you're watching them play? Is it kind of just to see the whole performance? Is that just pretty?
It is.
And then you got these kids just putting their hearts into it, and like they get all into it, right? Is that do you get to see that?
They do.
That's pretty cool. So, Coach, I mean, when it boils down to it, how much of the hearts of these kids goes into this?
I tell you what, it takes dedication. We ask a lot for them through the fall and the spring. We do a spring flag league also, and it's a lot of dedication. It's a lot of hard work. We start working out, doing workouts in July for tackle football in the fall, and I mean they're working out. I usually make at least one kid cry or throw up every season. So, I mean, it's a lot of work.
So the kid might be crying because some didn't, but you're saying, tough it up, kid.
That's right. That's
Buttercup,
right.
we got some football to play.
That's right. You don't get better at football by sitting on the couch playing Fortnite all day. You got to get out here and get some work in this heat, you know. And like I said, that'll be day one. Day one, the kid's crying and he's throwing up. Well, give me 2 or 3 weeks with him and watch his confidence grow when he starts feeling stronger and starts knowing, hey, wait a minute, I threw up and cried the first day, but now look at me. I'm not even tired. Can we play a game at the end of practice, coach? Like, that's when you know you're winning, and that's when you know that your message is getting across to them. So
very important stuff. It really helps me understand that you literally are helping develop young men here, right?
Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
Is that what kind of keeps you going? What do you love most about being the coach?
Yeah, I love it. I love that aspect of it. I love giving the game back to the kids. Like, it's awesome. It's fun learning all of the kids. Every kid's different. I mean, it's just a blast. I love every aspect of it. I love watching, not having a kid on the team. It really allows me to step back and watch the bonds that are formed between the kids, between the parents. It's just awesome, man. We do fundraisers. The teams come out and they're together and they're competing against each other. It's just a blast, man. I really enjoy it.
Well, you've obviously dedicated quite a bit of your life and a lot of your time to it. And just to be that dedicated, like you and your family and everybody, what's it like being part of the Wentzville community? And is that all your life, I would assume? Did you grow up in Wentzville?
Yes, I did.
And then here you are as the head coach. Is it kind of it's a pride thing a little bit to be giving back to the community and really feel like you're contributing? How does the community support you guys?
Oh, they support us well. I'm really proud to be the president of the organization. Like I said, it's just been great. We get support from all kinds of sponsors in the area. Like I said, our parents are some of the best football parents you can have. Everyone's real supportive of me. It's just been great. It's been a real blessing, I'll be honest. We love it.
So with regard to some of the sponsors, and we can talk about that a little bit, is there anything you give a shout out to anybody in particular that's been awesome? Or we say, hey, we need more sponsors? I mean, I'm sure you always need.
We actually are pushing for more sponsorships right now. If anybody is interested in doing that, please feel free to visit us at www.wentzvillewildcats.com or check out our Facebook page for more information. We are definitely always up for more sponsors. Our field expenses every year is ridiculous. So therefore, it costs a lot of money to bring Wentzville Wildcats show to town. So every little bit helps.
We have on the screen, everybody can see, this is the WentzvilleWildcats.com website. Check that out. And is there an opportunity up there for them to at least contact information or sponsor us?
Yeah, I believe if they go to, there's maybe about us or something there.
Okay.
I'll be honest, I'm not the web guy. I'm
well,
sorry.
It won't be too hard to find,
yeah.
but I'm sure you can get out
Yes.
there and we'll
I know for sure it's on our Facebook page. We have a sponsorship letter. I believe our gold package is $150. Our silver package is, I believe, $300.
Contact information. There you go.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. No, it's good. And you got a store out there too. But here you go.
Yes, we do.
So easy to find the Wildcats. You got a P.O. box. Where's your guys' main field at? Where do you guys play at?
We play at Heartland Park, which is right in Wentzville there behind Deerbergs. Beautiful field, beautiful turf field.
Wentzville has really grown.
Yeah, it has.
It's a mecca out there now. You can do everything.
Yes, it is. We love the facility too. Wentzville Parks, that's their park. They do a good job of maintaining it for us, and we work side by side. They are also one of our sponsors. We work side by side with them on a lot of stuff that we do out there. So we actually put on a camp for the city of Wentzville too once a year. That's
okay. So
awesome
talk about it. So what is there any other extra stuff you guys do? There was a camp you just talked about. You have a camp that you actually have for the kids during summer for special. Is that extra or?
Yeah. So it's through the city of Wentzville. They do charge, I think it's $40 or something like that for the camp. It's a 3-day camp, and it's pretty much is very basic, just to kind of, some kids are on the fence about it or are just curious about football and want to know what it'd be like. So this gives them a 3-day chance to kind of get out and feel what it feels like to be a player and, to get some instruction from a coach out there. So.
Chris, pretty exciting stuff, man.
It is.
Do you get to help with the camps too?
Yeah.
And do you help with the sponsorship and the
Set-
fundraising?
setting up the obstacles and all that stuff. So yeah,
Well, field director, man, very critical
it is.
piece of the pie there to make sure things happen the right way.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's really cool to just see some of the important people in our community that are willing to step up. And when Chris reached out to me and said, "Hey, man, can I bring the Wildcats and get Coach Nunn out here?" I thought, man, that would be cool. We've got a lot of businesses. If you're a business or business owner and you'd like to be on the show, that's the gist of what we put on here, and we're highlighting those and promoting them. But we want to have community-based stuff too. So, but this is all about your little castle, and anything that you feel, that we all feel is beneficial to helping you develop and live in your little castle, right? Everyone has their own little castle. You guys agree with that? Your house is your little castle.
Yes, sir.
Whether condo or whatever, wherever you live, but that's your little castle that you get to make your own little world. And there's so much that goes into that little world. And sports, again, I don't want to beat that up too much, but I mean, it is like critical that kids, I believe, you touched on it a little bit earlier, and that is what happens with these kids when they get stuck in front of a TV or a computer monitor all day.
That's right.
How do they develop themselves? Talk about that, if you would, just for a second, in your perspective on that.
Well, I'll tell you right now, being a coach, you can tell when the season starts up who's been outside running around and who's been sitting behind that TV. You can tell it immediately.
Really?
And parents act like they don't know, and they'll act like, oh yeah, little Tommy's been out running around in the yard. And when he comes to practice the first day, I can see Fortnite all over Tommy when he gets there. Okay? So it's very important. And I'm a gamer too. So look, I'm an old gamer. But guess what? You got to put the game down and you got to go get some life. You got to get outside and get some fresh air. Throw that football around. Hit a baseball. Grab a jump rope. Get on a skateboard. Ride a bike. Climb a tree. Hop a fence. Chase your dog. Do something, You
got it
You
all.
can't just sit around the house all day behind that screen.
Well, I did all of the above, and some of those we got in trouble for. I don't remember what, but jumping the fence got me in trouble a couple times, probably.
Yes.
But I mean, that is what kids get to do, and that's how you interact and really experience this little planet. You get stuck inside of a computer room for too long. You don't. Your reality becomes something other than what the real world is, right?
Yes. And sometimes it causes kids' communication to suffer because of it, and they don't know how to interact with other children outside of a school setting. They're so used to just seeing kids at school or in these little certain moments, and if they're not involved with something outside of just that, then that's the only interaction they have. They have to be able to run around and goof off a little bit, nudge each other, maybe knock each other down every once in a while,
Well, as we finish up here, we got about 15 seconds left. It is, I think, imperative, and that's the best relationships I've made was from sports. Yep. And my buddies, and I still talk to them and hang out with these guys, and we all get to enjoy this little planet together. Thanks, you guys, for tuning in. You've been watching the Your Little Castle show, and we enjoy your guys' continued support. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Your Little Castle. If you would like to be on the show, please text us at 636-565-0305. Giddy up.